We have a report of a dead body in the physics lab at the college. Send units immediately. The air feels thick with suspense, like something terrible is waiting. Oh no, it's a young girl. Looks like she was hit by something. It's Emma Johnson, 20 years old physics student. I'm Detective Sarah Lewis. What do we have here? She examines the body. This looks like a laser burn. The laser in the lab must have malfunctioned. The forensics team arrives. We need to preserve the evidence. Check the laser machine. So, you are the lab assistant? Was the laser supposed to be on? Sarah turns to the lab assistant. Who has access to it? The laser is always kept in safe mode. Only Professor Mitchell and a few grad students have access. Sarah steps to the laser. She examines the glowing control panel dot. The laser was activated remotely. Let's trace the source. In the lab's corner, a tech officer taps at a laptop, showing Sarah a screen with a green highlighted IP address amid scrolling code dot. The IP address is from Mark Thompson's computer. Mark Thompson, it's the police. I know you're inside. Open up the door, Mark, open up. It's the police. The door cracks open and Mark Thompson peers out. Lanky, 25, messy black hair, wearing a wrinkled t-shirt. What's going on? I didn't do anything. Inside, Sarah sits across from Mark in his messy living room, a gaming console glowing faintly. He fidgets, avoiding her stern gaze. Your computer was used to activate the laser that killed Emma Johnson, her tone cutting through the tense air. I didn't do it. My computer was hacked. I was playing video games all evening. Sarah goes back to the lab to examine the footage. The footage shows Emma was alone when the laser fired. So, how did the laser hit her if no one was there to aim it? She watches the footage. Wait a minute. The laser beam is coming from that direction, but the machine is over there. Sarah scans the lab. She spots a small angled mirror on a shelf among scattered tools. That mirror wasn't there in earlier footage. Someone must have placed it to reflect the laser. She holds the mirror in gloved hands, its clean surface reflecting a faint beam path. The mirror is reflecting the laser beam directly at Emma's position. The lab manager shakes his head as Sarah shows him the mirror dot. That mirror isn't part of any ongoing research. It must have been brought in recently. Sarah scribbles the suspect list on her notepad. Professor Mitchell, Dr. Mitchell, Mark Thompson, and a few others. She mutters to herself. Sarah approaches Professor Mitchell at his office. I'm sorry for your loss, Professor. Can you tell me about Emma's research? Mitchell rubs his eyes, beard trembling. Emma was working on a project related to my theory. She was a bright student, always questioning and digging deeper. Sarah flips through Emma's notebook. Equations, annotations, a critical paragraph circled. It seems Emma found a flaw in Professor Mitchell's published work. This could have ruined his reputation. She goes back to Professor Mitchell, leans forward with Emma's notepad. Did you know about this, Professor? Did Emma discuss her findings with you? Mitchell recoils, glasses slipping, shock on his face as papers scatter. I had no idea. Emma never mentioned any flaws in my work. This is devastating. Sarah stands alone in the lab, staring at a photo of Mitchell and a blonde woman on a bulletin board. Dr. Mitchell is a physicist and has lab access. She might have known about Emma's research. At the lab entrance, Sarah reviews a logbook, time-stamped entries glowing faintly. Dr. Mitchell was at home that evening, but she could have accessed the lab earlier to set up the mirror. She reaches Dr. Karen Mitchell's house. Dr. Mitchell, I need to ask you some questions about the lab and Emma's research. Dr. Mitchell twists a handkerchief. What do you want to know? I've already spoken to the police. Sarah holds up the mirror, its reflection catching Dr. Mitchell's wide eyes. This mirror was used to kill Emma. Did you place it there? Dr. Mitchell collapses into a chair, tears streaming as Sarah stands resolute with handcuffs. Yes, I did it. I placed the mirror and activated the laser from home to protect my husband's reputation. Officers cuffed Dr. Mitchell. You're under arrest for the murder of Emma Johnson. Outside the college at night, a news reporter speaks into a microphone. Breaking news. Dr. Karen Mitchell, wife of Professor David Mitchell, has been arrested for the murder of college student Emma Johnson. A group of young people in somber attire holds candles outside the lab. A photo of Emma. Rest in peace, Emma. You were too young to go. In a dim prison, Mitchell sits across Dr. Mitchell, now in an orange jumpsuit, both looking broken. I can't believe you did this for me, Karen. I wish you hadn't. Mark shakes Sarah's hand outside the police station in daylight. Thank you for clearing my name, detective. I was scared there for a while. Workers in hard hats secure the laser machine and remove the mirror in the lab, a sign reading, "New safety protocols." New safety protocols are being implemented to prevent such incidents. At dusk, a gray-haired couple places flowers on a headstone. Our daughter, gone too soon. We'll always love you, Emma. Sarah sits at her desk, a dim lamp casting shadows, staring at Emma's photo in a case file. This case was tricky, but justice was served. Emma can rest in peace now.